Good evening. It is time for today's Tax Talk. I'm your host. I'm attorney Stephen Leahy. It is Monday, November 21st, the year of our Lord 2022. Happy birthday if today's your birthday. I was just thinking of Ray Rayner today. So thanks so much for joining us. We're going to talk a little bit about the Republicans taking over the House and what that might mean to the IRS. That's what we're going to talk about today. Won't you join us? Now, I did a story about this before the election in the beginning of October, because many in the House were saying, if we won the House, we're going to do this. We're going to repeal it. We're going to roll back a lot of this stuff. And so that's all for campaign purposes, and I get that. So now it comes out, are they going to do it? Do they have the fortitude to go ahead and attack this? Since none of them voted for it, none of them, I'm talking about Republicans, it was all on a purely partisan vote. It kind of leaves it up in the air, doesn't it? It would make sense that they would go after this Inflation Reduction Act. As you know, I always laugh when I hear that. So that's what I was thinking. So let's go to the story, and we'll see where that gets us. There we go. House Republicans vow to immediately repeal funding for 87,000 IRS agents. That's just misleading, Attorney Leahy, because they're not all agents. Yeah, I get it. They're not all. They could be 87. They're not all 87,000 agents. Some might be officers. Some might be. So there's different names. But suffice it to say, there's 87,000 more people going to be put in charge, and the primary purpose of this act was to collect more money. So collections. As Republicans take control of the House, they are vowing that one of their first initiatives will be to put President Biden's so-called 87,000 new IRS agents' jobs on the chopping block. On day one in this House, we will repeal 87,000 IRS agents, Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy told reporters on Thursday. We will use the power of the purse. The size of our debt has to stop. I hope they mean it this time. They always say this, but they never come around to mean anything. McCarthy won his party's nomination to be Speaker of the House in January. And of course, he did win that, and there was some opposition, and some on the more conservative side were pushing for someone like Jim Jordan. I happen to like Jim Jordan. I think he'd make a great speaker. But there are some. It's a legislature, so there's lots of good give and take. I think that the Republican Conservative Caucus, the Freedom Caucus, has secured themselves a powerful place in the hierarchy, and should get good committees in order to conduct a lot of these hearings that we're hearing about. Republicans' goal will be to roll back some of the $80 billion in funding over 10-year Congress passed in the Inflation Reduction Act. It says here some, but they say or all, some or all. The IRS, which claims it has been stymied, I like this reporter already, because they didn't just accept what the IRS has been saying. They say the IRS, which claims it has been stymied with budgetary constraints for years, has vowed to use the funds to collect some estimated $5 trillion in back taxes and to clear its massive unprocessed tax return backlog. So I like that, because it claims that. If you ever heard this show, then you know that I think that that's poppycock. They were already getting $14 billion a year. Well, that's not enough, Attorney Leahy. They need 3 times that. According to Elizabeth Warren, they need 4 times that. A number of GOP congressmen across Twitter are echoing Leader McCarthy's vow. Our first act as a House GOP majority will be to pass legislation to repeal Joe Biden's plan to double the IRS with 87,000 more agents. We must also demand POTUS secure our border. Instead of IRS agents, let's hire border agents to defeat cartels and get the job done, as a Republican tweeted. While Republicans in the House may indeed introduce such a plan, the likelihood it would pass is questionable given some pretty formidable roadblocks. Longtime public policy expert, Wagner said, even if the Republicans fail to cut the IRS's budget, the battle could set the stage for 2 years of contentious battle over funding for the government. There should be a contentious battle for funding. They want more, we want less. I'm putting myself in the Republican side, even though I'm not really Republican, because I think they're mushy and weak. That's just what I think. Wagner said GOP House leadership's rhetoric is really good red meat for the base. They'll use it at the beginning of their takeover. But if you dig down, the Senate won't pass a repeal of IRS funding, and Biden can always veto it, the founder of the principal of Boston-based Wagner law firm said. The margin in the House is just so slim for Republicans, and I have the feeling that there are moderates who would not go along with it anyway. So I don't think Republicans will have nearly the uniform voting bloc they hope for. I think they will, since none of them voted for it. According to Wagner, Congress's time would be better spent updating the tax code to encourage retirement savings. Really? The last time the tax code was overhauled was 1986 under President Reagan. We didn't even have crypto or internet back then. Oh my, we didn't even have crypto or internet, Wagner added. To lead the battle at the IRS. On November 10th, President Biden nominated Danny Werfel, we've reported on this already, who heads Boston Consulting Group's global public sector practice, to be IRS Commissioner. Werfel would replace President Trump's IRS Commissioner, Chuck Redding. He was appointed by Trump, but I wouldn't call him Trump's IRS guy. I just sold you a commercial. If confirmed by the Senate, Werfel will be tasked with planning how to spend. Isn't that every bureaucrat's dream? I got $80 billion more to spend. Almost $30 billion a year. That's quite a budget. Their eyes are perking. You can see all their friends with the greatest jobs in the world. The new IRS Commissioner will also be tasked with digging out of what is arguably the worst backlog in unprocessed tax returns the IRS has ever amassed. The agency admitted last week the backlog had hit the 8 million mark, surpassing the record-breaking 7 million in unprocessed returns it had in its inventory at the same time last year, according to National Tax. Remember they told us? I've been reporting on it. They told us, oh no, we're really making some headway. We're going to clear this up by the end of the year. The end of the year is a month away. They still have 8 million unprocessed returns. Ain't going to happen. Part of Werfel's job, no doubt, will be countering Republicans' rhetoric regarding the so-called 87,000 agents. The IRS has never confirmed it is hiring, especially since lawmakers claim they will be targeting all taxpayers, including the middle class. The rhetoric is unlikely to die down anytime soon. Senator Ted Cruz tweeted on Wednesday, which is the official now of all politicians, their tweets. We need to fight back against Biden's army of 87,000 new IRS agents who are being hired to harass and persecute Americans. These are fights worth having. Now, I agree with that. These are fights worth having, and it's worth going through this. And one thing about the Congress, right? They do have the power of the purse. They've never really been able to use it. Why? I don't know why. They've had powerful positions. They keep raising the debt limit. They've had opportunity to use this before to get something done, but they never do. They're always afraid that it's going to come back to bite them. Instead of taking a stance, they just go along to get along. That's a problem. That's why I have fightbacknow.com. Fight back against this. Don't just give in. Fight back. Go to fightbacknow.com to learn how. Okay. So thanks so much for joining us here tonight. I appreciate you taking the time. I'm going to ask you to like and subscribe. One of these days, I'm going to remember to do this at the beginning of the show. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. We need your help. So like and subscribe. And remember, if you owe the IRS money, if you have unfiled tax returns, the best thing, and you don't know what to do, the first thing you should do is get a copy of my book, Deal with Your IRS Problem Today. Go to freeirsbook.com, freeirsbook.com. I'll give you the book for free. I will ask you to pay shipping and handling, a small shipping and handling fee. But the book, I pay for the printing, you pay for the shipping. It also comes with a bunch of bonuses, the 6 things you can do if you owe the IRS money, the 3 things you should never say to the IRS, the 4 things you should know if you have unfiled tax returns, the 9 things. Now I have 11. I just did a new video, the 11 tips for avoiding audits. All of that will be part of the package. So thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow is Crypto Tuesday, so you won't want to miss it. There's lots going on in the crypto world. God bless, and we're out for the night.